When it comes to finding a home, you're going to need all the help you can get.
And we need a lot of help. And thankfully, Bill Warman, that's right, legend here at 13 ABC. But now Epic Homes Real Estate joins us to help get you moving. Bill, welcome back.
It's great to be back and great to be with you this time, Rebecca.
I'm so glad to see you. He used to sit right next to me like, you know, old anchor days.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, now I'm here, and I have a question for you, Bill.
Yes.
Home prices, holy mackerel, they've been through the roof for a number of years. Is there any change? What's going on?
Well, actually, it's interesting. I found this graphic online, and I need to explain it to you. We're actually here in Ohio and Michigan in a great position. See these blue-colored states? Those are where the home prices are below $300,000 on average. As a matter of fact, according to this graphic, $228,000 is the average here in Ohio. That's the lowest in the entire country. That is great news if you're moving to or moving through Ohio and want to buy a home. State of Michigan, $238,000 is your average. That's the fourth lowest in the country. But why is the Midwest the lowest right now? Well, there are a number of reasons. They're economic. One is loss of manufacturing jobs, loss of population, and the fact that we do have a lot of farmland here and smaller communities where you tend not to have expensive homes. Now, I mentioned the loss of population. Where are people moving to? They're moving to the south, and they're moving to Texas, and that is where we're finding home prices skyrocketing. Look at Tennessee, $500,000 on average for a home. The same in Florida. I found this really interesting, Rebecca and Eric. Washington State, look at this, Montana, over $600,000. Why? The Mountain West is expensive because, one, they don't have a lot of land, and two, people from California with disposable income are moving to those states, driving up the home prices. But here in the Midwest, we are sitting pretty well. Michigan, fourth lowest. Ohio, the lowest home prices on average in the entire country.
So that's the good news for us in our area. So we think maybe we can get into a home, we can afford it, but the interest rates, those are still high.
That's the problem, and we really thought that the Fed was going to drop rates. There were some estimations maybe 6 times this year. It looks like they may not drop it, but perhaps once or twice, and that may not be until the beginning of September. But even though interest rates feel high to us now, look at this. I went back 50 years. In the mid-'70s, we were paying almost 10%. Throughout the 1980s, double digits. And primarily that's because we had high inflation, so the Fed decided it was going to squeeze the money supply, and that would lower inflation and get people into homes. And it worked through the 90s. And then we had the Great Recession. Remember in 2008 and 9? Well, at that point, the Fed decided to open up the money supply so that more people could have access to capital and buy and generate employment and create the housing market that we experienced. And then in 2020, we had the problem with COVID. A lot of people were out of work, but we still wanted to make sure that people could buy homes, and the housing market actually skyrocketed. Home prices did as well. But today's rate sits anywhere from 6.9 to about 7.2%. And that seems high when considering we only had 3 and 4% interest rates and as low as 2.5% just 3 years ago. But the 50-year average is 7.8%. So we are at historical average, and we're starting to get the sense now, Rebecca and Eric, that sellers are understanding that and are going to be more likely to put their homes on the market because they feel comfortable that these rates are pretty much going to stay where they are.
It's not going to move tomorrow kind of thing.
Yeah, not likely. And even when the Fed drops, hopefully, at least once or twice this year, this will probably go to about 6.5%.
I love looking at 50 years, though, like that. You know what I mean? And I'm of a certain age, and I know these things do. You do have to write it out sometimes. You do have to know things are going to change. But
well, if you were alive, like I was, I'm sure the two of you were just little kids by then.
I was alive.
But late 70s and early 80s, the prime lending rate was anywhere from 18 to 21%. And when you bought a house with 12% mortgage rate, you were thankful. You thought that was an outstanding deal. And remember, just as soon as 2020 and 2021, there were people with under 3%. That was insane. Never happened in the history of America. Never will again.
And we got about a minute left here, Bill, but you don't just play a realtor on TV. You are a realtor in real life, and you've got something cooking, right?
Yeah, you know, occasionally you get to list a home or two, and we have this one coming up Sunday from noon to 2. at 6803 Hampsford Circle in St. James Wood. I'm holding an open house. It's a 4-bedroom home, 2.5 baths. It has 2 living spaces, a den and a living room, a finished basement. They did a great job with it. And they elevated the back deck and expanded the patio. It's a really nice home. You'll be on a quiet, non-pass-through street. It's really someplace I think you should take a look if you want Sylvania schools and Toledo taxes. It's 6803 Hampsford Circle. You can either call me at my telephone number, or you can reach me through Facebook at Bill Horman Realtor with EpicHomes.com, or you can just email me and let's chat. Let's get you moving.
Excellent. I mean, if you're looking, and then you also get to meet Bill. I mean, that's a good weekend.
That's worth the price of admission. I have
agree.
business cards. I will sign them, and you can put them on eBay. They fetch quite a price.
I think that sold. I'm sold.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, guys.